Hi. So, vlogging. Just gonna have a sip of my tea. I've had such a weird history with vlogging, in that it's kind of linked to some other stuff that went on in my life. So, um, on my channel, you'll see I've got loads of videos from like 2006, 7, 8, and then nothing for ages, and then like one or two here and there, and then some videos more recently. My hair looks weird, but anyway. And I feel like vlogging way back when I was really into it, was a way for me to actually like communicate with people, because I was lonely. Because at that time I finished university but I was unemployed, because the economy in the UK was fucked and there were no jobs anywhere. I couldn't even get a job. I couldn't get a job in a cafe. I couldn't get a job as a kind of data entry in an office. Like entry-level jobs were just didn't exist. And there was that, but then also I was like, oh, I've got this great degree, I've got this master's, I'm a talented writer. So part of me couldn't get a job, and part of me didn't think I needed to get a job. So then like vlogging happened, because I thought, oh, this is cool, I can do this is fun, and it's something to do with my time while I'm fucking going mad not being employed. So like, because of that, once I finally did get a job and I moved on, and I moved away from Hertfordshire where I grew up, and I got into like a really, really fucked up relationship for 2 years, and all that kind of stuff happened, and then vlogging just stopped. Yeah. So that's why this channel is like so inconsistent and weird. And all the people that, I mean, there are a handful of people who watched my videos way back when, who I still chat to on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice, but I got really into YouTube again recently. So I'm gonna start like doing really boring videos again. So cool. So one of the main reasons why I'm doing this is because you know how you have stuff on your mind, but you don't want to drive the people in your life absolutely mad, or any more mad than you already do. And it's like, I've spoken to you all about this already, but I still need to talk about it. And because of that, I'm doing this, so I don't drive them all mad by talking about it again and again and again. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this anyway. I don't care. I don't care. One, I don't care if it doesn't make sense. Two, I don't care if anybody's watching. So this is what's happening. So 2008. So that was 10 years ago. So in 2008, I finished my master's in creative and life writing at Goldsmiths. So that was a master's program, but I did it part-time over 2 years, where I did stuff about how to be a writer, writing stuff, editing. I had to bring in stuff every week that would be critiqued by everybody. I had like writing assignments, I had reading assignments. It was like a really great program, and I loved it so much. Before I went on the course, I thought, maybe I'm a novelist, maybe I'm a poet, I don't know. But after the first term of doing that, my tutor was like, you have to decide if you are a poet or not, because if you're a poet, you have to fucking work at it, because it takes a lot. And I was like, okay, I want to be a poet, because that's what I've always wanted to be. So then I decided that that was my focus, so then I focused on that stuff. And poetry, one of my greatest passions in my life, which you may know from videos and if you know me on Twitter and stuff. It's fucking hard, and you have to work really hard. And it's one of those things where you put in so much effort and you do so much work, and then the world it exists within is so small and so, like, competitive. It's insane. It's like we're all poets. But the actual world of poetry and the poets, it's just mad how competitive and weird it is. So, yeah, I kind of came up against the world of poetry after my masters, and I kind of thought, I don't know whether this is for me. Being outside in the world of poetry, they all drink a lot of alcohol. I am sober. You know, I don't know. Also, social anxiety. You know, going out and going to readings and stuff. It's something I really need to work on. Anyway, where am I going? 2008. So this is my master's dissertation from 2008, and I had to get it bound. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I had to get it bound in this colour with gold. Those were the things. I always open it upside down. So this is my final piece of work that I did. So it's a book of poetry that I don't want to show you. It's a book of poetry called The Letters We Sent. And also, like, at the end, like a critical analysis of my work and my influences and all that kind of stuff. I love doing this so much. It was like, I just loved it. And when I was doing this, I thought, well, I'm going to do a PhD. I'm going to go on and do a PhD. But at this point, I had never had a proper job. I'd not really experienced much of the world. I was quite naive. I was quite young. I went straight into the masters from my BA. So I went from 21, 22, 23. So I was 23 when I finished, which makes sense because I'm 33 now. Mathematics. Sorry. And I felt like I'm going to do a PhD, I can be a lecturer, that's what I want to do. But I couldn't afford to do a PhD because I just couldn't afford it. And I needed to get a job. So hence all the loneliness and the YouTubing and then the job and all that kind of stuff. But ever since then, for the past 10 years, in the back of my mind, I've been like, hey, I want to do this PhD. I want to write another book and really write another commentary and then teach. I want to lead workshops. I want to teach people about poetry and make them as excited about poetry as I am, which no one else is. But I've never been able to afford to do a PhD because I've had to work full time to afford to live. So the story is, I got married. I met someone. Just skip through like 5 years of my life. I met my husband. We got married last year. We're very happy. We live together in a flat. Here it is. I'm not showing you, but here it is. In North London. And I work at a university in central London and as like a kind of admin person in an academic department. And I've been working there for nearly 2 years now. And when I started, when I interviewed for the job, I was like, I have a master's already. I know that you're on the staff benefits. I said you gave discounts on tuition fees. Is it possible to get a discount on PhD fees? And they were like, no. You can do another master's if you like. I was like, well, I've got one. I don't need to do another one. I want to do a PhD. And they were like, well, you can do a master's. You can do another master's. Also, we'd like to offer you the job, which was great. And I'm really glad I got that job. And it's been great, even though for the past 6 months it's been really stressful and really horrible. And that kind of leads me on to what I've been circling around the whole time and what I'm obsessed with is that again and again and again I've been like, hey, maybe you should do a PhD. And then I heard that in October 2018, so the beginning of the new academic year, starting in October, students who are on PhD programs, who start PhD programs in October, can get tuition fee loans. So that means that you can get a student loan that will cover your tuition fees. So that has not been a thing ever before. So I don't know how the fuck people are expected to afford to do PhDs before then if they don't do something that is like sponsored, that's within a completely different field, like a science researchy kind of thing. So anyway, learning that, and then I was like, oh fuck, maybe I could do this PhD. Maybe. But where we are now is my husband is sick of me talking about it and has said notionally he's okay with me doing it, but it will mean that we have to sacrifice lots of stuff, essentially money. I don't even get paid that much money in my job. Like, it's really quite a basic salary. It's more than I've ever been paid before, because I've pretty much always worked crappy, very low paid jobs, because those are the only ones I've been able to get. But there we go. Because I've never been focused on my career, my working career. I could have had a working career if I'd had any interest in it. I guess I could have focused on that. But I didn't, because I've always wanted to do a fucking PhD. And I've always wanted to focus on poetry and teaching people. But I've just never had the chance to be able to do it. So now I'm at a point where I'm fucking ready to leave my current job because, and they know this, because I asked them if I could go part-time. They said no. So I said, okay. If they know that I want to go part-time, they know that I can't go part-time in this job. They also know that I'm going to be looking for another job at some point. So I want to leave the job. I want to get like a 3 or 4 day a week job. And then I want to get on a PhD program and then do a PhD. This is what I want to do. And it's taken me 15 minutes to get there. I have to stop recording in a minute and go to work. But I feel like I need to talk through it over and over again, because it's something I've wanted to do for so long. And on one hand, I'm so desperate to do it. On the other hand, I don't know what would happen if I actually could do it. I don't know, and some part of me thinks, well, this is the dream I had 10 years ago. Is it still the dream I have now? Like, there's a lot of thoughts and feelings going on. So, hence the vlogging. So what I thought would be nice is just record these videos every now and again so I could get it all out of my brain, and then I'm not boring people in real life. I'm just boring YouTube because nobody will watch this, so it's all cool. So yeah, so the update is where we are now. I'm kind of... Also, the other thing is that I have to be like a successful poet to be either to be on a PhD course or to be successful or to complete it and then teach. So I have to be working on my poetry career bit. So I have to be like submitting work, working on work, entering competitions, all that kind of stuff. To do all of that, which is kind of like a full-time job, I have to do my current full-time job. I have to continue trying to be a good husband and like looking after my husband, doing all this, supporting him for all the stuff he wants to do. You know, it just feels like a lot. And that's how I feel at the moment, is that it's selfish, but working full time and trying to do all this other stuff, the stuff I really want to do, on the way to work, on the way from work, late at night, every weekend. It's not enough time for me to dedicate to it to get as good as I need to be. So that's why I want to go part-time and then hopefully get on a PhD course. I don't know. I think that's all I need to say at the moment. But I just feel like it is possible to do it. People do it, you know. People make it work. Right. I have to go to work now. Okay. Thank you for being my therapist. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.